Satnam. Truth is my name. My name is also Melissa, and this is Sky, Sunday Kundalini Yoga. Welcome. Today we are just going to do a very brief practice, a short breath clinic on segmented breathing. So how to break up the breath and therefore break the complicated moments or things that we're thinking about in life down into their components so that they're more manageable. All right, so before we begin, let's tune in. Bring the hands together at the heart center. Excuse me, palms are pressing flat and into each other. With some pressure, thumbs are in at the sternum, sit up nice and straight, and close the eyes down. Focus at the brow point, that third eye, the place where the nose, the bridge of the nose meets the brow. And let's take a deep inhale together through the nose. We'll hold at the top, engage Mulband, squeezing that root lock gently, bringing the energy up and through the nose. Exhale. Another deep breath in through the nose. Engage Jalandhar Bandh, neck lock, pulling the chin slightly back so the neck is in line with the spine. Again, pulling the crown of the head to the ceiling as the shoulders relax down. Through the nose, exhale, and we'll inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And keeping your hands right where they are. Another deep inhale through the nose, eyes stay closed. And here, hold, draw the energy up, crown up, shoulders down. Relax everything, especially your legs. Feeling the space around you, filling the space around you, preparing for practice. Through the nose, exhale. You can relax the hands down to the lap. And on an inhale, you can open your eyes or keep them closed if it's easier for you to listen that way. So for today's practice, we're going to practice a lot here today. 2 different kinds of segmented breaths. We're actually going to do 3, 2 different types to warm up. We'll shake the body out, shake it out, and move on to our meditation, which is actually just a pranayam called Ungali Pranayam. And Ungali is the Hindi word for finger. So I'll come back to explaining more about what that means. But for right now, let's prepare the joints for sitting for a little bit. Not that we're going to be here any great length of time, but it's always good to prepare the body. So the reason that I do segmented breath, I bring this into my practice or into my everyday work life, personal life, is to break things up and interrupt negative thought patterns or just patterns that I find myself in, cycling thoughts that I don't want to think anymore. I want to change the tone of the thought or the mood that I'm in. Segmented breathing really helps with that. And in order to facilitate, get the most out of that practice, let's do with the body also what it's not expecting. So let's move every single joint. The joints want to move in all the directions that they can. So let's circle the ankles, circle in the other direction, and then let's do some funny moves that you don't normally do with your ankle. Shoot the ankle up to a 45-degree angle, or your toes, feet up to a 45, and then down to a 45. Up, down, flex, point. Flex, point. You can see my legs turned out a little bit. Now turn your leg the other way. So you're getting kind of a nice knee rotation here too. And then flex, point at 45-degree angle. So kind of a funny angle. Breathing in and out. All right, let's take the other ankle, do the same thing. Rotate it one way, rotate the ankle the other way. And let's do those weird 45s. In, out. Point, flex. Flex, point, Point, flex, alternate, chunk, chunk. Okay, let's even move those toes. Oh, my toes are feeling stiff this morning. Move the ankle in the other 45-degree angle, other direction, up and down. Wow, that ankle's feeling really stiff. Left side for me is always stiffer. Okay, we're holding our legs up, so let's continue to do so. Hold one of those legs up. I've got my left, and let's rotate the knee in circles. So our knee's used to bending, forward and back, up and down, but the knee can go, check it out, in a whole big circle, and it wants to. So we need to do things like this every day to create new patterns in the brain, to be able to be capable of being flexible, adjusting to situations that we're not used to having to adjust to. Life catches us off guard, right? All the time. Switch the legs, rotating again the knees in full circles. Switch directions. Might feel a little crinkly, crackly. All right, let's get the hips moving. So coming up on to all fours, give your bum a shake, left to right. From all fours, spread your knees a little, really wide, like pretty much as wide as you can, but staying on all fours. Knees are spread, and do hip rotations. So making big circles with those hips. Hips also can move in a 360 when they want to. Switch directions. Lovely. Ooh, opening up the hips. I got a little pop there. Of course, you can pause and keep doing this for a longer length of time if it's really feeling good. Coming back to a seated position, let's get into the elbows. I'm gonna hold my upper arm and just allow that elbow to circle. How many times a day do you do this? Circle your elbow to the right. 3 big 360s, and then switch directions. Whew. Other elbow. Flail it around and circle and switch directions. And shoulders, hands on the shoulders. Let's make big circles, maybe nice and slow at first. You can speed it up if you like. And then circles the other way. And let's close our wings, touch your elbows together in front if you can, and then open your wings. So head up, back is arched. Heart opener here. Ooh. Elbows together, elbows strive to touch and back. So opening up the upper back here, but also the shoulders rotating or moving in a side to side, back and forth direction. And then do some 45-degree angles here, something strange. Move your shoulders in a way they wouldn't normally move. Breaking things up in the body. Shake, shake, shake. Oh, wrists are joints. Let's circle those. Hands towards me. This always feels really nice, up and down those tendons. I don't know if you do a lot of computer work, but I do. And this gets very tight. And flip the arms back over and bring those hands down. So really getting a stretch on the top of the arm, front of the arm. And let's move the hands like this. So my hands are at a 90-degree angle, getting a nice arm and even all the way up to the shoulder rotation here, and bend the wrists the other way. So you're pushing out and rotating from the shoulder all the way out. And head and neck. Let's drop the head, chin to the chest. Hang out here for just a second. Let's look up. Deep breath in, chin to the ceiling, chin to the sky. Look forward, ear to one shoulder. I can't go very far today. Stiff. And ear to other shoulder. Again, let's do 45. So bring the neck, the head to neutral, and then look up to 45 degrees, down to the opposite 45 degrees. Let's keep doing that. Up and down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and then other way. So looking up to the 45 degree in that direction and down to the opposite 45, up and down. Inhale, exhale. My eyes have been open through this whole thing, kind of exercising the eye muscles as well, moving them in. So at some angles and directions they're not used to moving in, breaking things up, breaking up our normal patterns. Okay, a couple more things with the head. Let's jut the chin out and then pull it all the way back. Jut the chin out, pull it all the way back. Look at the way this neck can move. Look how graceful and elegant. And then let's see, can you kind of move your neck side to side? Tilt the chin. Good. Okay. Feeling a little bit looser, everybody? All right, let's do some segmented breathing. So we'll do our 2 warmers. With our segmented breathing, we'll shake the body out a little bit and then do a short 3-minute meditation pranayam. Okay, so where are my notes? Yes, let's concentrate on energizing first. So whenever we give more emphasis to the inhale, we are going to be energizing our body, and we're going to be sharpening, preparing the body to focus or to deliver something that your body, your voice needs to deliver. That's going to be emphasized. You're preparing the body for that more when you concentrate on the inhale. So let's practice a breath where we are segmenting the inhale into 8 parts. So 8 distinct sniffs through the nose, and you're not sniffing so hard that the nostrils are closing all the way. You're trying to kind of go about halfway with that. And there are 4 separate pieces of the breath. And in order to count to 8, you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can do it using kind of yogic counting. Sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. So we're going to inhale in little bits until we are just as full as we can be. And then we're going to exhale in 4 parts. Sa, ta, na, ma. So the inhale is going to be twice as fast, but shorter, more shallow breaths, and then 4 deeper, separated parts of the exhale. Really quick, sa, ta, na, ma. These are the bij sounds for Sat Nam. Bij means seed, and it's spelled B-I-G. The seed sounds, it's like the component sounds of Sat Nam, which we know that Sat Nam means truth is my name. Truth is my identity. Truth is my experience. And if you break those sounds down into their components, sa, ta, na, ma. Sa means birth, ta means life, na means death, and ma means rebirth, the cycle of life. So I always want to know what the sounds mean that I'm chanting. And it's very helpful for the soul to hear the vibration of these bij sounds, this bij mantra, the seed mantra, because the soul wants to remember where it comes from, and it wants to remember where it's going, and it wants to help us in any way. This mantra assists with that. So let's close the eyes down. I think I'm going to bring my drum to just give us a little bit of a beat here. And let's take some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, just to prepare here. Sit up nice and straight, opening up those lungs, fixing your posture so that you can take in as much air and breathe out as much air as possible. Okay, and let's break that inhale up into 8 and break the exhale out into 4. So we'll inhale. Eight times, and then we'll exhale in 4. Okay, so inhale 8 times. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Exhale in 4. Sa, ta, na, ma. Got it? So I'll continue with just breathing with you and doing the little drum so we stay on the same beat. So again, in for 8, out for 4. And this is for focusing and energizing the body, the brain, and the psyche. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and begin. and out. In. Out. And last one. Deep breath in through the nose. Get ready to hold. Inhale and hold. Engage mole bond. Squeeze the anus, sex organs, lower abdomen comes up and in. Draw the energy up. The shoulders draw down. Head draws up to the crown of the ceiling. Allow the energy to integrate and spread through the body. When you're ready, through the nose, exhale. Keep the eyes closed. And then let's take a moment here, just breathing normally in and out the nose, feeling the effects of this first initial practice of segmented breathing. 8 inhales, 8 sniffs in on the inhale, 4 sniffs out to energize and focus the brain. So we just practiced that for a short time, but I feel more energized. If I needed to sit down on the computer and work for another 4 hours, I would definitely, and I have this week because I've been a little fatigued, do that breath for 3 minutes, like full 3 strong minutes, or 5. Doesn't take long to get the effects of segmented breathing. And you can sit down and get in your white clothes and tune in, or you can just kind of do it like while you're unloading the dishwasher or whatever. This is just a breathing exercise. It's not necessarily a deep meditation. Of course, anytime that you're focusing on your breath and chanting a mantra, you're meditating, right? But don't necessarily have to tune in and do the whole rigmarole to get the effects of these Kundalini practices. Okay, let's practice. Totally switch gears, try a different one. Now we're good. So that was concentrating on the inhale. Now we're going to concentrate on the exhale. So same sort of ratio, except we're going to flip it. We're going to breathe in for 4. So sa, ta, na, ma, and exhale in 8 distinct segments. Sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. So you're really breaking up the exhale, and the exhale is like twice as long. And whenever we concentrate on the exhale, we're moving into the parasympathetic nervous system. So rest and digest. This breath helps with digestion, relaxation, moon, healing, calming energy. So I've been practicing this one before bed, or when I am getting worked up, maybe like before a meeting or during a meeting that I'm not having a good time in, or wanting to be very careful about how I express myself verbally, or in social situations or before social situations that I know may be a little bit stressful, fun but stressful. We're in that kind of arena a lot, I think, in this life. So let's practice this. Again, let's just press the reset button, take a few breaths in and out the nose, okay? Just regular breaths. Eyes are closed down. Preparing to calm and balance ourselves. This is for calming, for unblocking, and for letting go. So 4 sniffs in, 8 sniffs out. So let's begin together. Okay, it's hard to talk and drum and say the Satanama and breathe. Okay, so we're going to inhale for 4 and out in 8. And in for a slower 4. And out in a faster 8. And in for 4. Out. In. Sa. Ta. Na. Ma. Out. Sa. Ta. Na. Ma. Sa. Ta. Na. Ma. Sa. Ta. Na. Ma. In. Out. Sa. Ta. Na. Ma. Sa. Ta. Na. Ma. Let's do 3 more rounds. Good. Through the nose. Inhale. Eyes are closed. Hold. Draw the energy up. Crown up. Shoulders down. Engage Mulband. Check your neck lock. Draw that chin back so the neck is in line with the spine. Allow the energy to rise and distribute. Through the nose. Exhale. I always like to engage Mulband again on the exhale. And then let it go. Keep the eyes closed, breathe normally in and out, feeling the effects of this reversed segmented breath for calming, unblocking, and letting go. Okay, on an inhale, you can open the eyes. So we've been sitting for a minute. So I feel, maybe my voice is like, all right, that's cool. Very short amount of time, right? And we already got the effects of this segmented breathing. Start shaking out your body, shake the legs out. If you're in the cross-legged or easy pose, make sure you spread your legs out, kick them out. Let's move those joints in circles again. So circling your wrists, circling your ankles, circle your knees and your hips, circle your waist and your spine, your shoulders, circle and circle in the other way. Shaking and circling, bring the head into it gently, maybe looking side to side, up and down. And we're going to do one more. That's it for today's practice. This last one is called Ungali Pranayam. And I was like, what the heck does Ungali mean? So I looked it up, and in Hindi, it's the Hindi word for finger, which is interesting because we need our fingers, at least I do, to do this final pranayam. It's a segmented breathing, and usually with segmented breathing in Kundalini Yoga, we're dealing with even numbers. 1 to 4, so you're breathing in for 1, exhaling for 4. So 1 to 4, 4 to 1, or we just did eights, right? One, or what did we do? 4 to 8, 8 to 4. This one is 15 to 15. And so we need our fingers, and the segments are very small, so you're going to take the lightest little tiny breaths because you need to get 15 sniffs in on the inhale and 15 sniffs out on the exhale. All right. And you may be thinking, what is this for? So let me just read to you the effects of breathing like this, the Ungali Pranayam. By the way, Ungali is also the name of an animal in a children's book called The Name of the Tree. And the book, the little story, I ordered it, I haven't received it yet, demonstrates how small or slow individuals can achieve great things. So everything about this breath is tiny and subtle, like thinking about how subtle things can be great and how in the end it's probably the subtle little things that really matter the most. So anyway, the physical effects on the kriya is that by doing this breath, 15 sniffs in, 15 out on the sa, ta, na, ma, it activates the central brain, the pituitary, pineal, and frontal areas. It coordinates the individual functioning of the 10 regions of the left and right brains. And check this out, when accompanied by appropriate greens in the diet, it will help reduce weight. And I think the reason for that is because this is like fine tuning your brain, like little tiny tweaks to put everything in place. And when the brain is organized and settled and tightened in the right ways, the body processes better. So our digestion's better, we're absorbing nutrients better, we're breathing better, everything's just functioning at a higher level, right? When the brain is all put into place like this. It reminds me of, you know, when you order a piece of furniture like a desk or a table, shelves, something that you have to put together, and you kind of put everything in and the screws all go in kind of like loose, and then you make sure you have all the ABC parts in right, and then you go around and tighten all the screws down. That's what this meditation reminds me of, is going in and doing that last tightening to make sure the shelves don't collapse on you later. Okay, so 15 breaths in, 15 sniffs in on the inhale, 15 sniffs out. And the mantra is very interesting. We're going to be mentally chanting sa on the inhale 15 times, ta. So you concentrate on the ta on the exhale 15 times as you segment your breath out, na as you inhale again, 15 in 15 parts, and ma as you exhale in 15 parts. How do you keep track of this? The meditation says to use a mala, but that doesn't help me because my malas have 7 beads or 11, 7, 11, and 27 beads. They don't have 15 beads, but we have 5 fingers on each hand, right? So the way that I do this is to count on my fingers. Sa, 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 and then out. Ta, 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 ta. And you'd think, well, 15 doesn't have a rhythm, but it does. So the hardest thing I think is figuring out, you know, how to not be full before you get to 15 and how to not be too empty before you get to 15. So very light, shallow segments here. I'm going to set my timer. We'll just do this for 3 minutes. Just give it a whirl. And I think the best way that I could do this is to maybe count for you. So I'll count on my fingers and drum and sing aloud the sa, 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 but this is a silent mantra. So you're just meditating on the sound in your head. So you're not chanting out loud. You're just thinking the sa, 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 ta, ta, ta. Remember, sa is birth, ta is life, na is death, ma is rebirth. So in cycles here. And then I'll become silent and just keep tapping and counting and allowing you to have your own experience. So take it, close your eyes down, get your counting fingers ready. Okay, so just sitting lightly on your knees or however you want your hands to sit. Close the eyes. Let's take a couple deep breaths in through the nose and out the nose. And then another. And one more deep breath in and out. And we'll begin. So here we go. Sa, 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 sa. Ta, ta, out. Ta, 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 ta. In. Na, 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 na. Out. Ma, 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 ma. I'll chant again. And in. Sa, 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 sa. Out. Ta, 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 ta. In. Na, 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 na. Out. Ma, 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 ma. And I'll join. Out. In. Na. Out on the ma. In. Sa. Out. Ta. In on the na. Out on the ma. In. Sa. Out on the ta. In. Na. Out ma. One more round. In. Sa. Out. Ta. In. Na. And out ma. Good. Stop. Keep the eyes closed. Bring the hands into Gyan Mudra, thumb touching forefinger. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold. Fix your posture. Draw the crown of the head up to the ceiling, shoulders down. Engage Mulban. Draw the energy up from the root through the sacral, navel, heart center, throat chakra, third eye, crown, up and out through the aura. Exhale. If you like, engage Mulban again. Concentrate, integrate. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale. Keep the eyes closed, but take a moment here in silence to feel the effects of this short Ungali Pranayam. tightening the fixtures in the brain, balancing the hemispheres, all the different components and parts of the hemispheres. The meditation suggests that you add 1 minute a day. So we did a little over 3 actually. We did close to 4. So adding 1 minute a day until you get to 31, if this is something that's really working for you. It's very interesting, and it takes a lot of coordination to count to 15, to keep the sa and the ta, and it's just odd and interesting that it's an odd number that you're segmenting into. The meditation also warns too that with Kundalini yoga and segmented breathing, we don't just like take any willy-nilly ratio. There are directions and specified ratios to use: 4 to 1, 1 to 4, 8 to 1. Yeah, 1 to 8, 4 to 8, 8 to 4. So make sure that you kind of look it up if you're like what looking for a segmented breath to do, and I look for which ones, what is the effect that I want. So again, if I want to calm myself, unblock myself, and let go of whatever it is, control of the moment and the situation I'm trying to hold on to, perhaps, then I'm going to do the 4 in, 8 out. If I'm trying to energize and sit down again to concentrate on whatever puzzle it is we're trying to solve, then that you want that focusing and energizing energy of concentrating on the inhale. 8 in, 4 out. And then Ungali Pranayam, which we just did, is its own special thing. 15 in, 15 out on the Sata Nama for overall awesomeness. All right, everybody, let's close practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope that was helpful for you. Hands in at the heart center. We'll sing our sunshine song, once for you, once for somebody else or a collective of beings you'd like to send your energy to. Let's close the eyes down. Deep breath to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Inhale for a long sat, short nam. Sat nam. We bow in deep gratitude to all the yogis, all the teachers, all the practitioners who have passed down these marvelous traditions of movement, mantra, and meditation, and breath, pranayam, so that in practicing them, we can interrupt our own thought process and make a change, a left turn for the better when we need to pop out of negativity or pop out of our routine and become something new, fresh, and bring something shinier to the world. Sat Nam. Again, thank you for joining. We'll see you next week for a full active Kundalini Yoga Kriya practice. Thank you. Have a nice week ahead.